Hi there, I'm James. This is Outpost Terminal. On this channel, we try to cover kind of new or independent developed games that typically are not getting the publicity that would happen through normal channels. I try to pick out stuff that I think is worth your time and attention, and then also learn a little bit from the developers themselves as they worked on the game. So today we're getting an opportunity to check out Deep Space Outpost a little deeper. So there is a first demo playthrough episode already up, but if you haven't seen that before, you don't have to. You can pick up here. Nick at Nyris Games was kind enough to send over a key so we could dig in a little deeper and to learn a little bit more about what DSO has to offer. I enjoyed playing through this, and at the same time, Nick was also very generous to give me some text interview questions as responses. So I've selected a few of those responses, and we'll talk about them throughout this video. If you want just the interview content, you'll have a video coming shortly after this uploads that will contain each of the questions and his responses to them. So with that said, an early thank you to Nick at Nyris Games for working with us. And let's grab your tea or coffee and get back into Deep Space Outpost. There it is. It's that first drink. All right, let's get ourselves on screen, and I am going to intentionally pick up where we left off because I think we had found a few of the spots where like trading with other ships was limited, and so rather than forcing us to go back through that loop, you will have my wildly overbuilt and unnecessarily complicated outer structure that has very little protection, right? So these laser turrets are here to prevent damage, but there is not a tremendous amount of money left. Right? So kind of reviewing our resources, we have quite a bit of ore, some metal, water's fine, fuel is increasing, so our generator there is doing its job. Air is growing, though I suspect using an airlock might burn some of that. And there's CO2, and then of course we have 12 credits, so we are very broke. Let's see here, we have messages. So we have, yes, and then we can do communications, which will let us, here we'll set that over here, which will let us agree to trade. We could repair that vehicle as well. We could offer to refuel, earn a little bit of money. So let's look at the tradability. They will let us buy ore, but I don't want that. Maybe they're full. Maybe that's why. Okay, so we don't have anything we want to buy from them. Let's see here. So we have drones doing a lot of material manipulation inside. We got good as new. We repaired someone. So quickly, one of the questions that I asked Nick was that, like, as this game really leans into real production chain and life support systems, right? Like starting with droids and then like leading into human crews later on. And I asked him just kind of like what was drawing that layered approach. And he said that he actually felt like there are a lot of games that tell the story of living in space well, but that he wanted a more grounded, like more realistic, almost gritty feeling sci-fi. And his thought was, if you're sending things out to like these outer reaches of space, you send droids first. Like you don't send people immediately. And he kind of drew inspiration, he said, from The Expanse, right? So like it's not just going for over-the-top sci-fi, it's more of a realistic tone. And I think that really shines through in the way that this plays, the way that this builds. Like we are looking at several pieces of work right here, that all of which kind of require this careful attention to our power levels, our like processing capability. There's just a lot that can happen here. So I'm building some tractor beams because, as I understand it, those will also help us prevent either debris or other objects. Okay, we can't build that there, so we're not allowed to build them on those. We can refuel the next group. I'm starting to think that trading is not really working much for me. Okay, here we go. They'll take some. That got me some money. They'll take some metal as well, which we can produce, so we're okay with that. They can take some fuel. And then I hit confirm. I've got money! Not a bunch, but a little. All right. And then that group is coming to trade. So basically they arrive at the airlock to trade. I don't know if that makes a tremendous difference that I put the second one in there. Trader bot's active, so they don't have any of that. We could give them some water. I don't know if that's helpful. Oh, they don't really have much they want to trade. That's fine. This one like wants to trade, I think, but I'm not sure. I think he's deciding to stay where he is as the repair, like, because I can trade, but if I trade, we've already done that. So I guess now if I undo trade, maybe eventually I'll be able to disembark. Let's see, we also want to make sure we have the, let's see, what do these drop stuff into? I forget. Tractor beams. So it moves asteroids and scrap to salvage depots. Okay. I know it's here somewhere. Excellent. So then there's like, maybe it's just an infrastructure thing. Do I have droid maintenance? Because if I don't, I'm missing out. That's exactly what this is. Okay. Put another repair bay up because that seems to be good, but homie here doesn't want to stay, apparently. I mean, I'll buy a droid from you. I think I'm broke now, but it can't hurt to have more droids. They can do more work. All right. Let's see. At some point, we're going to have a CO2 scrubber and life support, so let's go ahead and get those building. Sewage treatment also feels important. Oh, can't do that yet. We have the computer. Med bay, repair bay. There's the salvage depots. Just put them kind of everywhere. See what we get. I'll refuel you. And then why not trade? I really think this guy ended up kind of stuck. Not exactly sure why. So here, like the tractor beam is capturing the asteroid. And we can turn on salvage or... Okay, so these lasers can then pull the materials off. Perfect. Let's grab a mining laser then. one there. Put one here. Put one here and here. And that way we're able to create much more of this. And then you, please buy all my ore. Please buy metal, please buy fuel. See, by being able to sell all of this, I feel like we're actually putting ourselves in a position to be able to buy more. Like, I am nowhere near the resources needed to... Okay, we're low on power. I've made mistakes. Let's see if all this helps. I know this is enormous building. This is kind of how I tend to learn building games, is I sort of construct what might be unnecessary structures because I'm learning about how the numbers interact. That guy's still stuck. I'm done trading with you. You can disembark. You... We've already traded, so goodbye. We turn the beacon off? I missed my achievement there. I think that's really fascinating how it kind of works together. There's a lot that we could do here. So like as you become more of a master of these systems, right? Fuel cells, I mean, solar panels seem to be the right direction. Though a fuel cell, it says research is required, which I've not done yet. Let's dig into that a little bit. Okay, so it costs money to do the armory, the fuel cell, distillery, sewage treatment, and shipyard. So, for instance, let's do the shipyard. So it costs us some of our credits, which I have to check here. We have 111 total. And I feel like if I don't go ahead and build these out, I may regret my decision. Because at least I will have committed the space. Otherwise I might make decisions to use them. Also, I feel like I'm probably creating, a significant resource drain on my system here. The thing that strikes me most about this game is how incredibly clear, right, the sort of purpose behind each of your movements and your actions is. Everything serves a really specific purpose. And though this wasn't really one of the things I intentionally wanted to call out in this video, I asked about some of the inspirations for this game. And they're things that you might expect, but I didn't fully expect kind of the thought process where Nick was mentioning that he spent a lot of time with, let's see, it was FTL, Space Base, DF9, Genesis Alpha 1. Yeah. And so those games each feel a little bit like a spiritual predecessor to this. But to him, what was sort of the inspiration then was what it might look like to add sort of those three elements together. And I thought that was really interesting, that's a clever approach. I think games as art do this well over time, where we talk about the potential for combining ideas, and really good games are well made. They work well, they don't have a ton of bugs, they're at their time for what they're supposed to be, graphically impressive, they're responsive, they make the player feel accomplished. But great games, I think, often do exactly what art has always done, which is like iterating layers on top of the pre-existing standards or norms. And I think there's something here to this genre that is deep enough that you can truly like play the kind of game you want to play on this. So like if you wanted to build a, like under the habitat section, if you wanted to play, I just want to be a human destination and try to, presumably, I don't know here, but yeah, it's so like the casino is recreation for workers and visitors, right? But like visitors can come and provide benefit to your area. That's not something that most space simulation games do, but it is something that crew-based games do. So I think it's just really clever that these like overlapping institutions are used here in ways that I would not have expected them to be. I have not been paying attention to my signals. Life support is okay. It looks like it's very slowly climbing. I think I do want to trade with somebody again. If nothing else, because we can... Oh, you're the HR-49 friend that won't leave. Cool, dude. Nobody gets to disembark. Okay, let's see what we can do here. So this converts CO2 and fuel into water, okay? But it requires research. See if we can get a little more money out of... Interestingly, when I'm in the build menu, I cannot make it automatically scale up these. It's fine, because you can make this work just fine without. Confirm. It's like we hit trade. I guess the trade has to finish, and then... So we're effectively capturing asteroids, which is nice. I'm going to put these to be repaired. But yeah, I thought this was really fascinating how this game specifically combines, right, elements that it is really easy to miss. Like all the depth that can come here. Right? So this turns into metal and water. The water can be turned into fuel and air, so it sort of goes both ways. And then, like, I feel like at a certain point we are actually building toward a crew quarters. I think there's an overlay somewhere. Tools and reports. Overlays. Here we go. So air, it's okay, but it's not great. CO2 is fine. Damage is fine. Docking just means it's full or not full. I think I really do need to like build the dock further out. Right? What is considered internal? What is considered unreachable? Okay. So let's see here. Maybe before I do more more wild building, a docking connector. Maybe that's what I was missing. Let's put some floors in here, and we'll see if we can't build that. That's probably because I'm trying to do a no can do. Let's see if we can build it down here. So we build this. We'll put in the walls. We'll put in placement between two walls. So we can put an airlock there. We can put an airlock there eventually. A docking connector could go here. Here? Yes. In theory, this would let us do a lot more like interfacing with other ships without things being stuck. And if I remember right, yeah, we can use the speed keys, which is like 1, 2, and 3. I believe 2 is play, 1 is slow, 2 is 1x, and 3 is 2x. And this is saying there's a CO2 scrubber and life support, but I don't think the life support is actually coming online enough. And we're going to need sewage treatment eventually, pumps stored air. How do we create air? Because that seems like a concern for me. I'll put the crew healing. Sewage treatment we don't have yet, so we're going to need to do the research there. Okay, and then shipyard has been researched, so we're going to need so we'll have O2 storage and CO2 storage. Food storage, waste storage, compost storage, why not, while we're at it? Oh, and these produce CO2 usage, turns water into food. I'm gonna find it. So what I'm looking for is the way to create air. Fuels available, yep. Mining lasers. Oh, those are big. Oh, oh. Pain. And like here, there's a derelict. Let's go ahead and salvage it if we can. Unscanned. So what I'm trying to figure out here is how to crew quarters. And then there's the canteen where they can eat, which is going to be important. Got to give them some music. Casino there. It has a sound station. That's great. So like we're using a lot of air. Ah. So here's where it's putting out water, but it's not putting out air, which means we should be able to I think I need, maybe I don't need them, but I want them. Airlocks. Can't build that there. I guess we'll find out. Because see, I never really built a docking port. All right, so let's let this one refuel. Let's repair this one. I want you to take as much ore as you can, because all right, you have enough money to take this. Oh no, you can't have our droids, I'm sorry. We need those. And then we'll sell you stuff. Nope, we're gonna buy some droids. I'm not sure. So you can certainly trade We will repair anyone. We will refuel anyone. Goodbye. We'll put an airlock here so you can get out the end. But looking at the overlays, area resources, air. So like there's air, but there's not very much. Which is because this is not producing much air. And there's overlays off. Fantastic. Okay. I really need to be expanding a bit more. So let's wipe out these things. Okay, we can take the laser out without taking the wall out, I think. So that was a mistake, but we'll rebuild it and then we'll... Whoa. I mean, that actually worked pretty well. Okay, and then we put in the flooring. And I don't want to put in the like door sections till that's done building. And this is saying it is full, I think, right? So the electrolyzer is outputting some air. I mean, we could use another electrolyzer, I guess. That would be a way to go about this. We put like CO2 storage here, air storage here, and then we get rid of this one and this one. Goodbye. I don't really know what's... These guys are just kind of like stuck there. I think it's because I did something I shouldn't have done. Oh, the repair bay becomes a shipyard. Oh. Well, let's delete that and just put storage nets in here. Let's see if either of you have droids for me. No, I want you to give me droids. You don't. I have no air. Fresh out of air. All right, so another of the questions that we spent a little time chatting through was, so like, as a solo game dev, like it requires quite a bit of focus on a specific game, but like besides doing Deep Space Outpost, which looks to be doing fairly well in its initial reception, Nick has also worked on like Town of Thieves, which is a turn-based crime management game, and Upheaval, which was kind of a military diplomatic sim. And those are very different genres. And so I was just kind of curious in asking him, like, why those different genres? And his answer was that the other two, so Town of Thieves and Upheaval, were really just kind of like learning exercises. Upheaval was intended to be just a simple strategy game, sort of like a reimagining of an old Amiga game that he enjoyed. And then Town of Thieves came out because he was playing Lords of Waterdeep, and like that mechanic was really interesting and appealing, so we wanted to keep working with it. And I think those are like, again, you can see sort of the deep strategy that Nick has a preference for, and I can tell just from the way the game plays that there is much thought that goes into how these systems interact, like how they might even unintentionally interact. And I think that's really easy to miss if you're not careful. So it's like there's... Oh, it is being constructed, it just is not constructed. All right, all right, all right. And we have new ships. Sure, you can disembark. I think you're new. Do you have droids for me? No? Okay, we'll sell you some. Wow, we got a lot of metal to sell. Somehow they don't want that. Can't imagine why. Let's see if it's T technology. R for research. Button. Distillery, laboratory, advanced refinery. And I don't actually know the Sabatier reactor. That must be based on a thing I just don't remember off the top of my head. I feel like I've heard the term. I just don't know what it is. All right, so there's batteries for the droids. We could build another of the electrolyzers now, like here, which would produce a little more air. Wall is built. Where are you guys going? Oh, they have to go all the way out there to get there, because this one's blocked. You guys are allowed to leave. Ah, nuts. That's gonna hit a solar panel. Sure did. I've not paid attention to my message boards. I bet I should have. New contracts. We have unreachable build jobs. Oh, that's unfortunate. Pirates detected. Oh, that's... Maybe that was last time we played. I'll be honest, I didn't look at the message board, and there is a bunch here. Okay. If I leave that pinned, maybe I'll see something when it surfaces. No, the pirates are new. They're here. They're right there. I think. I think they're attacking our facility. Oh no! I am not prepared for this. Oh, that's research required. Here. And now we can watch this. Did we actually drive him back? That feels unlikely. But okay. Success. By chance. That's a visitor returning to his ship. I think this is a little bit of a mistake I should work on. So if I put airlock doors, I think they have to be on walls, so I have to wait for the walls to finish. We have no asteroids set for mine. I guess we could turn on a couple here so it just continues doing what it's doing. And that's an asteroid field, which is even bigger. Scrap field and asteroid field. Let's see if we can... It has to be next to a wall. I don't remember if that means inside or outside. Okay, we've built that section, so let's put the airlocks in. And then let's also put, because we are not using nearly any of our power now, we can put these here and add the docking port right up here. It's like with the right materials, we can get there. I think maybe putting an airlock door here will help, even though our droids are absolutely going to. Build new droid. Droid maintenance in use. Okay, so somebody's coming to it. Okay. Everything's flashing. That can't be good. My theory is it could be related to like lack of storage. So metal is full, fuel is full, air is meh. Send you on your way. Still don't have anything to trade with you. And then here, well, you know you can have some ore and some metal, because we're all about that. Which I'm hoping means they're docking, yeah. So they dock at an airlock, a docking connector. I mean, I shouldn't have built them this close then, is the short answer. Putting it most directly. Okay, so now we can knock out those doors to put these doors in their place. And in theory, we can do a bit more refinery work, but we can also build more electrolyzers. The distillery, the lab. I mean, we could see if we could just build one of those. I don't know specifically what they're good for. So it turns food and water into liquor, CO2 into fuel and water, algae bars into oxygen, water, and medicine. Maybe? Algae bars. Okay, well, if that's the case, we're gonna need to be able to grow some food. And everybody needs a gym. A bar, which is different from the canteen, right? Understandably. Okay, so now pumps stored air. So basically this is going to pump out the air we need, but if I get rid of those, let's rebuild a repair bay right here. Oh, it has to be attached to a wall. Well, that makes sense. Put it over here, and then we'll upgrade it when we can. All right. Oh, stuff. I mean, I think it's actually happening, if I understand this right. Let's put in some more extraction. think that'll be able to reach that. And then we know we need turrets everywhere. Excellent. The armory, which we still need research for. Let's see, we probably got traders that want to trade. Oh, you're the one that doesn't. It says trader bot active. I think I somehow got that one stuck. This one we can definitely sell to. And there, see, that is taking the salvage down. That's good. Well, it's refueling, which I think pays us money. We have 489 credits. We're rich. I'm also just waiting for something to go wrong here. I feel like we have the ability for people to show up. Yeah, our air's doing okay. CO2 is normal. I mean, that's promising. Tractor beam range. May as well spend the money on these things. So speaking of sort of, this is the sandbox we're in, right? Since the game offers all these different modes, and right now I'm just demoing like a bit more of the sandbox mode so you can sort of see the build trees. And then Station Builder is another mode that it offers, where you can do things like mine and rescue others, or specifically aim to conduct combat. And like, which of the situations, right, what my question was, which of these situations is most like rewarding, which is Nick most proud of, and like how have like players reacted in different ways, right, than expected. And a lot of the point was most players stick to sandbox, and honestly that's where he says he spends a lot of his time, but he does enjoy like the rescue scenarios because it creates sort of this procedural generation element in the space stations, which was a fun challenge for him. And then someone else mentioned that survival mode was too easy. And so like based on some of that feedback, he is like working on an update so that the like difficulty curve gets harder, right? I think that's like, it's clever that even is a question, right? But I think it's also really important to recognize that he's listening intently and carefully to specifically which like players who are engaged want what features built, right? In a lot of ways, this is the growth story of the now behemoth Factorio, right? It was a game that had solid, deep mechanical roots and had a lot of room to grow. And over time, that's exactly what happened. And it led to it being one of the best-selling, titles from an independent studio that way of all time. I think there's a lot of that DNA in this approach. And so I really appreciate what Nick is doing here. Well, we know we have a med bay. Sewage treatment I don't think I had before. I need to make sure we have that. 'Cause what a yikes if we didn't. We can put a few more crew quarters in. Do people live here? Will people live here? I mean, this is from, so like some ships will dock with the docking port, some won't. Kind of fascinated by that. We can upgrade those shields, right? We can also upgrade this to be a full stop shipyard. Pew, pew, pew. Captures it and pulls it in. Nice, 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 nice. Let's check our research. Fuel cell, why not? I'm very aimlessly upgrading at this point because I want to finish the upgrades available. But I can also see how, like, this is specifically built in sandbox mode. And sandbox mode means generally you're just building kind of as you're able for fun. Putting this in a scenario where there are things consistently attacking you, suddenly things get difficult, right? Like, I'm currently very full on materials other than water. But I think it's important that we remember that, like, the demo here is showing what these systems can do. And this is very efficiently made. Like, I see no concerns with, like, having enormous sprawling stations as a genuine possibility here. That to me suggests that there is a lot of room for this to get exciting, right? Build a little more metal storage, a little more ore, because why not? Oh, these are pirates. We're about to find out how it goes. I guess we survived that. $50 metal, it's already upgraded. Okay, good, good. I do note that, like, some of the, like, upgrades I would not turn down as an idea. I would not turn down a small visual change to represent, like, what has been upgraded so that it's at a glance easier to tell. Scusi. But that's a really minor thing, and at this stage of the game, I think it makes a ton of sense to just do what can be done. Lab, which I don't think I ever built. I don't think I ever built that Sabatier reactor. I'm, like, researching things and not paying enough attention to what's been researched. Power is going just fine. How are we doing on money? 258, so I don't quite have enough yet. I need to do some trading. Not you. You're HR 49. You're bugged in my house and you won't go. All right, we can give them fuel, we can give them air, we can give them anything they want, except for a lot of CO2 because I don't have that. That should have them, yeah, docked down there. I really think this one basically redocked and then has nothing. It's like there's visitors on the station maybe. Oh, that's why. Because if we permitted them to disembark. That could be. That would make sense. Maybe I've just been missing it the whole time. Very good. Sewage treatment we do already have. Could put a secondary station computer in, just in case things go sideways. Put in a couple CO2 scrubbers. We didn't have a distillery before, but we do now. These are so haphazardly placed. But because I can build a lot more space, I feel like it's not that big of a deal. Again, sandbox mode. If the resources were harder to come by, this would be a very different conversation. Uses water and food. Research. Go ahead and get our battery upgrade. I'm inclined, just as a fun addition here, to build like sort of a whole other section over here so that we could put some of those later stage buildings in. And then we'll put in an airlock here when the time comes. I mean, the station does kind of take necessary shape, like a certain way. Oh, I realize it's that I asked for things to be built there, but they couldn't. Hold still, friend. Moving to hall. Oh, we can upgrade each of the droids. Oh my goodness, well that sounds like work. Can unlock the cannon. Oh, that's big. Is it actually going to park it there? It did. The larger asteroids, which this would probably be in that reference to someone feedback. If that's a larger asteroid and you put the larger tractor beams in, you're able to hold it, kind of put it in place, and then they're there until they're broken down. And I feel like that means it can store quite a tremendous amount of ore. There's the trader droid that's stuck on the base. I feel like I probably caused that by moving things while they were trading. That's my theory. Sell some more stuff. That actually is worth a decent amount. And then, nope, research. Our droid capacity. And I feel like there's probably here, if I go to worker control, if I pick which one, you could do the upgrades for each this way. Very good. And then you can choose like whether they're doing. Oh, so this is like their threshold. They repair things, or they require repair below 75%. They require recharging below 25%. That makes a lot of sense. And then we can set their priorities. There's a lot of deeper programming here that honestly I'm just now like experimenting with. And as we finish some of this time, I am going to finish these researches. I did have sort of one other question I wanted to highlight here, and that was like, now that the game has launched officially, right? Like, what is the roadmap? I suspect this may be a question that a lot of people who might check this out or be interested in kind of following along are interested in. Is there going to be like new content? Is it going to be more quality of life? Is there anything that he's already been working towards? So he's doing very active like updates on this. He said in the last week or so, it's been mostly stability that he's like worked to improve wherever reports happen. He started on like some GUI improvements and things like better pathing, which would potentially even resolve my orphaned droid question here, right? Short term, he is going to do German language support, and he wants to get the demo itself updated so that it kind of has some of these other features that I've been able to dig into to give people a taste of what's coming. Beyond that, he said he's looking at things like a combat update that will probably come first, and then he wants to also add mod support. So like you'll be able to add in either elements, components, rule sets, and that could be huge for kind of the popularity of this as a platform to take off. I personally am really excited to see sort of what comes out of that, because there is a tremendous amount of potential in the infrastructure he's got here. And make no mistake, when I say potential, I don't mean it's not good today. It is good today. It is good enough that I see people potentially really wanting to engage on kind of like mod work or workshop work. So yeah. Yeah, let's see here. I feel like we're doing okay. The power usage is a little higher than I expected it to be. Like, we're fine, but apparently I've built an extra panel for giggles. Can always add. So people can't seem to get that far. I wonder if that's like a droid maintenance shop going in here would be helpful. Or if that's just a question of me having overbuilt the space away from the computer. All right, let's finish up our research here. We got, what, 2 things left? Wall strength and a shield upgrade. All right. But I don't know, like, if you're thinking about this, I genuinely think getting into it now is the right time. There is a lot that this game, I see, has like potential to become and to be, and I'm intentionally playing in a very laid-back, relaxed setting so that we can explore the systems, kind of see how these things interact. You could spend a lot of time, like up at the top of the screen here, looking to maximize what you can build, right, in specific areas. That's not insignificant, right? Like that is a considerable amount of effort and work, right, to build this from the ground system that can support all of this. So very exciting. I am impressed. And we'll see if we can get the shield upgrade. We'll turn one of those on here momentarily if I can find where I put one. We researched all of the schematics. Yeah. Awesome. But that means we now have kind of all of the abilities in the menu left to us to use, including an armory, which I did want to check out. So I think I'm going to put it like this, just to see what it is. I think the idea is it would arm your droids or your people. Yeah, it turns metal into ammo. Well, you need the ammo then to defend yourself. Maybe that's why our defense was questionable. And then I put some cannon turrets here. It has no ammo. Okay, the cannon turrets require ammo. Makes complete sense. The laser turrets take power, the cannon turrets take ammo. Very good. All right. Well, with that, I do want to just briefly spend a second saying thank you again so much to Nick for letting me sort of dig into this platform a little bit deeper, and for asking him questions, right? Letting us sort of play with these systems and see what they are and what they might become. I very much like what he has here, and I look forward to seeing how it takes off as like modding and other features come online. I think there's some really great potential here. So if you're thinking about it, please do consider picking it up. It is a good title. The price is so low because it's new. It's an independent developer, solo dev. He's working on this by himself. That takes a tremendous amount of both courage and effort. So wishing him the absolute best with this, and maybe at some point we'll check back in after a little time has passed and kind of see how this has expanded, right? See what, for instance, no longer applies from my builds. I am very grateful for those of you who watch, those of you who hit like and subscribe if you're interested in this kind of content. And we will certainly see you in the next one. But until then, be well. Catch you later.